So yesterday we saw, should I say, or I saw? I better say only I saw, because how can I assume you saw? So I don't want to assume anything. So yesterday the reincarnation theory was hinted when we had the birth and rebirth is like changing the clothes, garments, and you will choose the clothes. You will choose your dress or suit based on the field you're entering. So it's a hint of rebirth. Even Shruti, Mother Shruti also acknowledges. The Kathopanishad declares, Yoni manye prapadyante yatha karma yatha shrutam. All the jivas enter various wombs, various bodies they take according to their karmas and according to their knowledge. Yatha karma yatha shrutam. So there is a past birth and there is a future birth. Shruti declares, therefore, I accept. But we will prove the logic also we have to see. So today, if past birth and rebirth is not accepted, and only the present birth is accepted. Remember this. Only the present birth is accepted, but past birth is not accepted, and future, the rebirth, is not accepted. If this is so, if the present birth is accepted, then according to yukti, yukti means logic. According to logic, there will be two doshas. Two doshas means one is masala dosha, the other is sada dosha. Because the moment you hear the word dosha, immediately your attention goes to Madhya Pradesh, the belly. Uttar Pradesh always is looking into Madhya Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh is this. Madhya Pradesh, the belly. Doshas means defects. Two defects if we do not accept the past birth and the future birth, and we accept only the present birth. If we accept only the present birth and do not accept the past and the future, then two defects. What are they? Number one. First, if there is no past birth, if suppose in case by chance no past birth, then what is a dosha? Akrita abhyagama dosha. Akrita abhyagama dosha, meaning akrita, you have not done any action, but a reaction is seen. The law of reaction, action, reaction is not known by these people. So two defects. Akrita abhyagama dosha means without any action, without any past action, the present reaction is seen. The effect is seen in the present without a cause in the past. So effect is seen, but without a cause in the past. So if there is no past birth, then effect will be there, but no cause. Action will be there, but without action, reaction is seen. So without action, reaction. Without cause, effect. If there is no past birth. But we all know what? The present is the product of the past. Present is the product of the past. So present is the product of the past. Now next, if there is no rebirth, next birth, if there is no rebirth, then what happens? The other defect. What's the other defect? Krita vipranasha dosha. Krita vipranasha dosha. Meaning, you have done action in the present. Your action done, but there will be no reaction. So cause is there, but without effect. If there is no rebirth. See? So our rishis have thought over very well. So if this birth is there, then there was a past birth. And also there will be a rebirth. Isn't it? Hey, Swamiji, I don't accept. You who are? I didn't even ask for your acceptance. Like, imagine, if today is there, then yesterday was there. No choice. Yes, and suppose I'm giving talk today, and yesterday no talk. Yesterday was not there, and today I start saying, yesterday I saw this. What yesterday? There was no yesterday. I can't say today without referring to yesterday. So if today is there, then yesterday was there, whether you accept it or not. And then if today is there, and then tomorrow will be there. And you may wish, Swamiji, I've been attending 26, 27. Today also I had to attend. What to do? My parents force me to sit. And they say, put your camera on. And they are seeing, and they are not on the camera. So when I become adult, then I will also be not on the camera. What to do, the child? Isn't it? So if today is there, tomorrow will be. You may wish tomorrow it will not be there, so no yajna, so I need not attend the class. You may wish for your activity, you may. But tomorrow will be there, whether you want it or not. So today is the product of yesterday. So yesterday I covered verses 26, 27, 28. You may wonder where is Swami already went off. Yesterday 19, 20, 21, 22. So yesterday I covered. So today present is a product of past. Isn't it? So always remember that now the present is the product of the past. Even this life, if you are a doctor, how are you a doctor? It is because of your past 25 years of karma. 25 years of karma in the past. Today, you're a doctor. I am not a doctor. Why? I did not waste my time. 25 years I did not waste in the past. So therefore, today, I'm a Vedanta teacher. So each one is the product of the past. All the jivas. Parents give you only the body. Parents supply only the material suppliers of the body, like building materials. Not give birth to the jiva. Jiva is coming from eons. Many births. This reminds me. This one child, Bala Vihar student, almost graduating. So the Bala Vihar student said, Ma, he was telling his mom, Mom, I will also bring my children to Bala Vihar. I will also bring my children to Bala Vihar. Mom said, I'm so happy that, so my effort, my struggle for this past, how many years, up to 12th grade, 18 years, I mean, at least 15 years. My past struggle for 15 years, I am fulfilled. Mom was so happy. And that boy broke that bubble of bloating. Immediately one pin he put. What? He said, Mom, I'm going to bring my children to Bala Vihar to take revenge. He felt that I should, because my mom took revenge on me. So I'm going to take my revenge on my children. Means bring them to Bala Vihar and tell them, I attended, now you also attend. I suffered, now you also suffer. Hindi suffer would be better. So therefore, since parents are not giving birth to jiva, only the body, but the parents, if they have the samskaras, they will invoke, oh Lord, please send a good jiva to our family. Let a good jiva come. Let a noble soul come to our family. This prayer can be done. So yukti means logic. So if past birth is not accepted, then you are seeing the effect without a cause. If future birth is not accepted, then you are seeing the Cause means you are doing something and you will not get any effect without effect. This is the danger. These are the two defects. If the past birth and rebirth is not. So basically, if this birth is accepted, that's why if you ask me, Swamiji, do you accept past birth and future birth? Do you accept? I have to tell you, if you ask me, do you believe this present birth? I have to tell, I don't believe even this present birth. So if you don't accept this present birth, if present birth is not there, then what past birth? What future birth? If today also is not, if today is not there, what yesterday? What tomorrow? But Swamiji, today is there. What do you mean today? Today also is not there. There is only now. When can you say now? Now. When can you say yesterday? Now. When can you say tomorrow? Now. You can talk about yesterday only now. You can talk about tomorrow only now. And you can talk about today only now. There's only now, now, now. Now and here. I have a clock here. Clock and all the numbers. It's only now, 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 now. Reminds constantly. It's only now, now, now. Now and here. Now means the time. Here means the place. So only now and here. That pure consciousness, now and here. And you are always now and here. But your mind goes into the past, regrets and failures. And your mind goes to the anxieties of the future. But consciousness is ever present, illuminating the mind's past regrets, illuminating the mind's future anxieties. So consciousness is ever present. Those who are identified with that divine consciousness, they are ever in the present, ever in the now, ever here. So these are going to logic. This next one, first is Shruti. Shruti also declares Yatha Karma Yatha Shrutam. And Yukti says, that is, if this birth is accepted, past and future should be there. And Anubhuti. Anubhuti means experience. You can see around, there are so many diversities seen. Why the difference? Some is born rich, some is born poor. Some is born, some are born healthy, some are born rich, some are born poor. Some are born healthy, some are born sick. Why? Imagine, same soil. Soil is the same in the garden, but different flowers and fruits grow. Why? Soil is same. Why difference? Because different seeds. Based on the seed, the plant, the tree, and the fruits and the flowers. Isn't it? So yogis, the great yogis, they can see into the past and they can see into the future because they have transcended the BMI. They can see. Swami Shivananda, Gurudev's Diksha Guru, he could see and he could suggest to his disciples. He used to tell Gurudev, you go hit upon Vivekananda. Vivekananda did so much job. Then you continue from there. So he could see in that. He could see in Gurudev Vivekananda's role. So in nature, nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted in nature. When a candle burns, nothing wasted. Also, if you can observe, how then can we explain the child wonders, the child prodigies? Mozart, how do you explain? Adi Shankara, 8 years old. Sant Jnanadev, how do you explain? Swami Dheerananda, you may be smiling, you may be laughing. So because I can't hear you and all, thank God. You can't even laugh when I glorify myself. Isn't it? So I can enjoy, I can tell anything. This is the best I like about Zoom. Even children, I need not tell the children, keep quiet, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om means not keep quiet. This was happening. One man, all the children are talking, and this person, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, and children are still continuing talking. Then I told, Hari Om is not silence. Tell them, please be silent. And he, oh, please be silent. Immediately they were silent. Because Hari Om means what? Anything. Hari Om can be taken anything. Hari Om means continue talking. So in Zoom, I just mute. Nobody can talk. What a glorious power you have. Zoom power. So, no rebirth or birth to Atman the self. Always remember, Atman the self is never born, never dies. No birth, no rebirth also. Because when there is no birth, what is the question of rebirth? No birth itself. Yeah. So, no rebirth or birth to Atma. Rebirth and birth, rebirth or birth only to Jiva, the individual, due to karma performed. So whatever karma I perform as an individual, by my choice, based on my choice, I do my karma. Then I get the result accordingly. So, but if you observe, man performs bad karma, but he does not want the bad result. See, man performs bad action, but he doesn't want bad result. How can that be? The thief, no thief wants to go to jail. Ask any thief, did you want to go to jail? No. Thief does not want to go to jail, but he commits a theft and he is taken, is gravitating to jail. Action, reaction. So Arjuna, Lord Krishna is trying to tell, hey Arjuna, please understand. Birth and death only for the Jiva. No death, no birth to Atman, the pure consciousness. No birth means not even rebirth. Atma is eternal, imperishable. Imagine I gave the example of the space. When was the space born? In the pot. Never, space is always there. In space, the pots are made. In space, the pots perish. Space is Jonkatya. Space is as it is. Nothing can destroy space. Nothing can destroy Atman, which is like the space. So next verse indicates nothing can destroy Atman, the self. What all can destroy? Lord Krishna is enumerating. So let us see. Varshita, are you ready? So let us see verse 23. Varshita, are you ready?
Yeah.
Good. Now, ready? Verse 23. Nainam chindanti shastrani.
Nainam chindanti shastrani.
Nainam dahati pavakaha.
Nainam dahati pavakaha.
Na chainam kledayantyapaha.
Na chainam kledayantyapaha.
Na shoshayati marutaha.
Na shoshayati marutaha.
Very good. Now, all the sources of destruction enumerated here. So, Atman, the self, the pure consciousness, Chinmaya, can never be destroyed. Nainam chindanti shastrani. Shastrani, all the weapons. Enam, dehinam, the indweller. Weapons cannot cut this indweller, the self. When the pot breaks, the space inside does not break. Isn't it? Atman is like the space. Weapons cannot cut it. Cannot cut because there is no form. There is no form of the Atman because it's all pervading. All pervading, what form can it have? Space is all pervading. What form is the space? What can you tell? Can you say, oh, Swamiji, space means a room space? That is because of the room. Closet space, because of the closet. Restroom space, because of the restroom. Remove the walls and the ceilings. Space is space. Inside space, outside space, because of the conditioning. Minus the conditioning, space is space. So cannot cut because there is no form. With a sharp knife, can you cut space? So you are sitting in the dining table, sitting there, and the food has not come. Only knife and fork are kept. Now what will you do? So you start, you want to entertain yourself, so you take the knife and start. And they ask other members on the table there, what are you doing? I'm cutting. What are you cutting? Space. I'm slicing the space. You may say, you cannot cut space. You cannot cut water. Can you cut water? Slicing the water. Not ice, water. Can you cut fire? Can you cut air? Space, air, fire, water, uncuttable. You cannot cut with any knife or sword, isn't it? Water you cannot cut. My grandmother used to say, Tannila edivai, means write on water. Because somebody comes and says, Amma, I will pay you back. I will pay you. He wants something from the grandmother. So I will pay you back. I'll pay you back. Then grandmother will say, Tannila edivai. I'll give you now, but you will go and write on the water that you will pay me back. Means what? He's not going to pay back. This is what? You can't write on water. Sign on water. What can you sign? You can say, I'm signing on water. What are you signing? So, Nainam chindanti shastrani. Weapons cannot cut it. Nainam dahati pavakaha. Fire cannot burn this indwelling self. Nachainam kledayanti apaha. Water cannot wet this indwelling self. Water cannot wet it. Na shoshayati marutaha. Maruta, the wind, vayu. Wind cannot dry it. Wind cannot dry this indwelling self. Next time when you go to restroom, in the restroom there'll be, your hands are wet and they keep dryers in the restroom. So what you do, I used to observe, when their hands are wet, they don't push with their hand, the button. They use their elbow. They elbow the button and then they show their hands in front of the dryer, and the hands, they want to dry the hands. While drying, you can say, you can feel, na shoshayati marutaha. You can tell that. And if you want to show off to others, you can say, you can tell loudly, na shoshayati marutaha. Wind cannot dry. Hands are drying up, not yourself. You're watching, you're witnessing your hands getting dried up. You can see. But the seer, that consciousness, because of which you're conscious of the hands getting dried, that is not getting dried. So we see destruction around. We see destruction due to the corroding effect of nature, corroding effect of the phenomenal forces. You can see nature also can be very, you can see that it appears like destruction. But always remember, nature's destruction is always creative destruction, constructive destruction. It is only man, due to the angry intentions of man, man-made weapons, man-made destruction is destructive destruction. All man-made weapons, from stones to atom bombs. Earlier days were stones, atom bombs. Astra, shastra. Astra means to throw. As means to throw. So astra means anything you throw, even a stone is called astra. And shastra, you keep it in hand, like a sword or a gun. It's called shastra. Astra, that which you throw. Shastra, you keep in hand. Keep in hand. Even boomerang also. Boomerang, you throw, again it comes back to you. If you don't know it is boomerang, your own head will be cut off. So you should know. So when you throw the boomerang, it will come back to you. That if you throw correctly. In the Ramayana, very beautifully stories are told, nice, very enchanting stories. Rama used to shoot the arrows. When Rama shoots the arrow goes, takes off the head of the Rakshasa. The Rakshasa's head is taken off. And then what? All the arrow has all the blood of the Rakshasa, the demon, the demon's heads, or the blood of the demon. So the arrow will go to the ocean, because the ocean is nearby. It goes to the ocean. The arrow cleans itself in the ocean and comes back to Lord Rama's quiver. How beautifully dramatized. You can imagine Lord Rama shooting and then the arrow going, and the demon's head is totally shaved off from the shoulders. And then that arrow with all the blood going to the ocean and dipping in the ocean, cleaning in the ocean, self-cleaning, and then coming back and returning to Rama's quiver. It's very beautiful to imagine. So nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, nachainam kledayanti apaha, na shoshayati marutaha. So this divine self, this eternal self, this imperishable self, can't cut it, can't burn it, can't wet it, can't dry it. Because Atman, the self, is formless. He is the power behind all phenomenal forces also. In Kenopanishad, he appears as a Yaksha. And Agni and Vayu go to find out. He withdraws the power of Agni and Vayu. And Agni, the mighty fire, Agni, the fire, mighty fire, could not even burn a blade of grass. Imagine, a blade of grass. The mighty fire could not burn because he removed it. He withdrew that power. If consciousness is withdrawn, what can you do? Healthy body, pure mind, brilliant intellect, but consciousness withdrawn. What's the use? It's like a mannequin. So Agni's power withdrawn. Agni could not burn a blade of grass. And Gurudev used to say, on the blade of grass, Agni could see some dew drops, it seems. Imagine how dramatic Gurudev is. Then Vayu, the great, the mighty winds, Maruta, the mighty wind could not even move or make even the blade of grass flutter. Imagine that. So this is the glory of the divine. He controls everything. We think that we have got all the liberty or freedom. Main switch is with him. If he withdraws the power, nothing we can do. He is the power behind the body, behind the mind, behind the intellect. Minus that power, the consciousness. Without consciousness, what can the BMI do? It's only a conscious body that can perceive and perform. Only the conscious mind that can feel. Only the conscious intellect that can think. Now, to emphasize and make a strong impression on the student, Lord Krishna repeats the same idea. Punarukti. What is that? Next verse, let us see. Ready, Varshita? Verse 24. Achedyoyamadahyoyam.
Achedyoyamadahyoyam.
Akledyo shoshya evacha.
Akledyo shoshya evacha.
Nitya sarvagata sthanuhu.
Nityah sarvagatah stanuhu.
Achaloyam sanatanaha.
Achaloyam sanatanaha.
See, punarukti. Again, the same idea repeated. See, when a question is asked by a student, it is one thing to answer it simply. Another is to solve the student's problem completely. So to lay emphasis and make a strong impression on the student's mind, the teacher is repeating. I am this self, this indwelling self. Achedyaha. This divine self cannot be cut. Achedyaha ayam, achedyoyam, adahyoyam, adahyaha ayam, ayam adahyaha. This self cannot be burnt. You cannot burn it. Impossible. Even Agni lost his power. Imagine that. So this self cannot be burnt. Akledyaha. Akledyaha. This self cannot be, you cannot make it wet. It cannot be wetted. This self cannot become wet. Then Ashoshya evacha. Ashoshya, the self cannot be dried. The indwelling self cannot be dried up. Ayam nityaha sarvagataha sthanuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. I am Atma, this self, this indwelling self, nitya, changeless, uncuttable, unburnable, unwettable, undryable. These words may not be there, but we are coining the words to make an emphasis, to make a strong impression. Atman, the self, is uncuttable, unburnable, unwettable, undryable. That way you can remember. Sarvagata means all pervading. Remember, like the raga, all pervading. Like akash, like the space, all pervading. Sthanu. Sthanu means like a stump, like a pillar, stable, unmoving. Then achaloyam. Achala also means immovable. Why two words? Sthanu. Imagine the trunk of a tree, huge tree, like the redwood tree. The redwood tree, the trunk will not be moving to the wind. The trunk, you can't see it moving, but the top branches, you can see it moving. Any huge tree, the trunk is stable, whereas the branches are moving according to the wind. Therefore, you have to say achala also, not only the trunk not moving, even the top also, no movement whatsoever. Why? Infinite. Where can the infinite move? Where can the space move? If the space has to move somewhere, the space has to move to a space where there is no space. How can it be? So the all-pervading cannot move. Don't think Lord Narayana is paralyzed. Achala. See, it says achala. Your scripture says achala means immovable, cannot move. Your Lord cannot move. Your God cannot move. He is paralyzed. And they show the picture also. Lord, see that Lord Vishnu lying down, because from neck down he is paralyzed. And Lakshmi is massaging the feet, jiggling the feet so that he gets some blood flow. How people all explain? Foolish. No upstairs empty. Toilet. In India, they call anything empty, we call toilet. Not only toilet, but also toilet. Because extra ego. Infinite cannot move. Where can he move? In the beginning days, they used to ask me, Swamiji, please exercise. Exercise. Every day they used to bother me. So now what can I do? I said, okay, to get rid of them, I said, I'm exercising. How? I walk. Where? From my left shoulder to my right shoulder, I walk. every day. How can you walk from your left shoulder to right shoulder? You're on the left shoulder, you're also on the right shoulder. How can you walk? If this you can, infinite, everywhere. Where can it move? No movement possible, no action possible. So sthanu achala. Sanatana. Sanatana. Here also like we saw Purana, same thing. Sanatana. Sanatana means eternal. Also Sada Nutana, ever new. That's our dharma. Hinduism is called Sanatana Dharma, the eternal law. Eternal law cannot change. The changeless eternal law. Sanatana Dharma. So to emphasize our own understanding, so Lord repeated the same idea. Now, after this 24, now 25 is the concluding verse for the absolute standpoint. Because Lord Krishna is giving from the absolute standpoint. Therefore, to lift Arjuna to that level means from the absolute standpoint, nothing can happen to you. So if you want to bring somebody out of their dejection, depression, disappointments, you can tell that person, nothing, that's nothing. It'll immediately all will disappear. Everything will be all right. Nothing will happen to you. Nothing will happen. You can easily tell because you are imagining you means that. Because you are that. Whether you accept it or not, that is the fact. But you are thinking you are this. And here only all problems, the pains and the sorrows and the dejections and the depressions, all are here. So you can identify there and say, nothing will happen to you. When you turn your attention to it, you can get out of this situation. So in the next verse, Lord Krishna is indicating now. Verse 25. Varshita, be ready. Verse 25. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam.
Avyaktoyam achintyoyam.
Avikaryoyam uchyate.
Avikaryoyam uchyate.
Tasmadevam viditvainam.
Tasmadevam viditvainam.
Nanushochitum arhasi.
Nanushochitum arhasi.
Very good. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam. Avyaktaha ayam. This divine self, this indwelling self is avyakta. Avyakta. Vyakta means manifest. Avyakta, not manifest. You can say unmanifest. So this divine self, consciousness, is unmanifest. Always unmanifest. Meaning, you cannot see it, you cannot hear it, you cannot smell it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it, you can't feel it, you cannot think of it. That's called unmanifest. Means it's not available to your experience objectively. Even vasanas are unmanifest now. Your vasanas now unmanifest. But vasanas at the right time will manifest. So even though the vasanas are unmanifest in the present moment, now I don't know what vasanas I have, but at the right time it will sprout, it will manifest. Like now the time is 7:44. 7:44 the time. At 9:44, what thought will come in your mind? At 9:44, some early birds who retire. Swamiji, 9:44, no thought I will get. because deep sleep. But majority are nisacharas. Majority. Nisachara means those who are moving in the night. Night movers. Night walkers, they're called. Nishachara. So they, at 9:44, what will be your thought? What will be your feeling? What will be your perception? What will be your performance at 9:44? I don't know. So put an alarm and check. 9:44. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? At that time, no thought will come because you are conscious. Very funny, this mind. When you're conscious, what thought is coming, no thought comes. And that's why many people are, they say, watch your thoughts. When I tell watch your thoughts, so at the seat of meditation, when I try to watch my thoughts, Swamiji, no thoughts are coming. And I get tired, fed up, and then what? I get up. See, watch, you can watch even the absence of thoughts. Why don't you watch the absence of thoughts? That also you can watch. You're absent-minded. Can't you watch the absence of thoughts? So, avyaktaha ayam means not manifest to the sense organs, not manifest to your mind, not manifest to your intellect. Means not an object to your senses. You cannot perceive it, nor can you hold it or catch it. You cannot feel it. You cannot think of it. Avyaktaha ayam. Then what? Then how to know it then? If I cannot perceive it, if I cannot feel it, if I cannot think of it, then how to know it? Remember? Remembering it. How are you remembering it? That because of which my sense organs perceive. That because of which my organs of action perform. That because of which my mind feels. That because of which my intellect thinks. So seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, blinking, winking, inking, all because of that divine consciousness. It enlivens the body, the sense organs. It enlivens the mind and the intellect to perform, do the respective chores. So to remember it and abide in it, that's all we can do. Tasya smriti tatra drudhaiva nishtha. To remembering it is to firmly abide in it. So remember it and firmly abide in it. How? That because of which my BMI perceives, feels, and thinks. I am seeing, I am hearing, I am seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, all because of this. So avyaktaha ayam. Achintyaha ayam. Achintya. Already said avyakta. Intellect also cannot think of it. Intellect cannot make it a concept. Intellect cannot think of Atman as a concept or an idea. Achintya, unthinkable. The best example you can imagine is a flashlight. Imagine a flashlight. You are having a flashlight, and wherever you focus the flashlight, you can see whatever you want to see in the dark room, because the flashlight has the beam of intelligence. The flashlight has the beam of light. The flashlight has the beam of light. This beam of light, wherever you focus in the dark room, you can see anything. But there is one thing this beam of light of the flashlight cannot illumine. What is that? If you start thinking, oh, what a bright, brilliant beam of light. What is the battery? What is the battery for this bright beam of light? So what do you do? So when the beam of light is there, you remove the back cover to see the battery, to open the cover and take out the battery, and want to see the battery in the beam of light of the flashlight? Can you? The beam of light, however powerful, however bright, that beam of light of the flashlight cannot illumine its source, the battery. In the same way, our intellect is like a flashlight. Our intellect, like a flashlight, has the beam of intelligence. The flashlight has a beam of light. Our intellect has the beam of intelligence. Wherever you focus this beam of intelligence, it will illumine that. Archaeology, biology, cardiology, dermatology, epistemology. Alphabetically, I know only this much. You can add photology. Any logic, any objective science, the intellect, the beam of intelligence can illumine. But supposing you get a doubt, you start thinking, oh, what a bright, brilliant beam of intelligence. What is the source? What is the source of this bright, brilliant beam of intelligence? If this thought comes, can the brilliant beam of intelligence illumine? It cannot. It cannot. But this thought, what thought? What is the source of this bright, brilliant beam of intelligence? What is the source? This very thought is called contemplation. And you maintain that thought. It becomes meditation. And in that firm abidance, it happens. It reveals. That's all can be said. Our effort is only to turn our attention unto it. And then what? It happens. Swamiji, how can you explain? How, if you howl, what can I do? Like sleep. How do you fall asleep? You turn your attention to sleep, wanting nothing but sleep, turning your attention to sleep. And then at one moment, first you get some intimations. Mouth starts opening up like the hippopotamus. And you start, sleep is coming. It is coming. It is coming. And then at one moment, gone. Sound asleep. Only others will know that you have slept. See that? When you are maintaining your attention only for sleep, you fall into it. So too, tasya smriti tatra dridhaiva nishtha. Remembering it and being it. Then each one can experience. So, avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate. Avikaryam. Ayam avikarya. Means no vikar. Means no change. This self is changeless. Unchangeable. Changeless like the anvil of the goldsmith or blacksmith. On the anvil, he shapes out all the iron materials. This consciousness is like the anvil upon which all the experiences are being shaped out. Like an anvil, changeless. Our youth, they wanted to have a fundraiser. Now our youth also can plan this fundraiser, and that too they thought the best thing is nobody will bother giving the change, because all the people just keep the change everywhere here and there. Instead of keeping the change everywhere, please give it to us. So they wrote a slogan. The slogan is, give us your change, donate your change, give your change. We will make you changeless. Give your change. We will make you changeless. Yeah, what a beautiful slogan. We will make you avikari. Changeless. You are changeless Atman, But thinking you are the BMI and you think you are changing. Body changes, mind changes, intellect changes. And consciousness illumines all the changes. If not, how will you know the change? The knower of the change must be changeless. So consciousness never changes. Avikaryo yamuchyate. Tasmat, therefore, knowing this self to be such. Tasmat evam viditvainam. Evam viditva enam atmanam. Therefore, knowing this self to be such. Nanushochitam arhasi. You should not grieve. You should not grieve thinking, oh, I'm a killer. I will be a killer and they will be killed. Don't grieve like this. But the self is not a doer and not an enjoyer, not a sufferer. Non-doer, non-enjoyer, non-sufferer. Akarta, abhokta, atma, ahamasmi. This self is infinite and partless. No parts. So can be neither subject nor object of any action. Because infinite and partless. So neither subject nor object of any action. So from verses 11 to 25, this is the 25th verse. Lord Bhagavan has given the highest standpoint. Absolute standpoint. It is called Adhyatma Drishti. The vision of the self. From the subjective standpoint, the vision. The vision from the subjective standpoint. Adhyatma Drishti. Means, so when Lord is teaching, it's a disciplined thinking. He takes one topic, analyzes it from one standpoint, and then goes to the next standpoint. So now the next standpoint we start seeing. So before seeing the next standpoint, just a flashback. The movies and all you see flashback. So Atman, the self, is imperishable. Therefore, no one will die. No one can die. Even if you want to die, you cannot die. But you can dye your hair, you can dye your clothes. You know? Atman is neither doer, nor enjoyer, nor sufferer. Therefore, from the Atman standpoint, no merit or demerit. No punya, no papa. From Atman standpoint. From BMI standpoint, punya papa comes. From the BMI standpoint only, you have to say, paropakara punyaya, papaya parapidanam. My summer camp children will easily repeat. Paropakara punyaya, when I say helping others is virtue, courage, and wisdom. Papaya parapidanam, hurting others is evil, inhuman, and dumb. That's how my children will repeat. So Atman is neither doer nor enjoyer. Therefore, no sin. Therefore, do not grieve. Therefore, do not grieve. So here ends the highest vision. So that's from the absolute standpoint. No need to grieve. There's no need to grieve. And if you are there, you cannot grieve. Impossible. But Krishna is taking, because Arjuna is grieving. So he's lifting to that level. But do you think Arjuna understood? Arjuna did not understand. But he felt some solace. Oh, there is hope for me. As though you have understood. We also have not understood. So Arjuna definitely could not have understood. Why Arjuna could not have understood? His mind was so overwhelmed with the war, the destruction. Imagine, you never seen war, even local fights you have not seen. Imagine you are in the railway station in India. I'm talking this in India. In railway station. In India, even if you have a railway station, you have a ticket, until you get the seat and until the ticket collector comes and confirms it, you are not sure that it is your seat. Such is the condition. So therefore, what to do? I'm talking during my time. So you are in the railway station and then you have 4 children and 1 wife. I can't say 4 wives. 4 children, 1 wife, and 23 pieces of luggage. Imagine. 4 children, 1 wife, 23 pieces of luggage. And you are constantly counting what? Your children, your wife, and the luggages, especially the luggages. 23. How will you count? In English, you count first. And then to make sure that you correct counting, that you counted correctly. You even count in Tamil. Have you seen Tamil people? When they count, they can trust only their mother tongue in counting. I used to enjoy that, how they count. And he starts counting 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So plus 3. 23. Then in another row, 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. 23. Like this, different permutations and combinations. Anji, Anji. The way you're doing in mind, but a little bit you can hear the sound. Anji, Anji plus Anji, 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 Moon. Nalu, 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 Moon. You can hear him. Isn't it? 23. At that time, if your friend comes to you and tells you, you are going anyway to Chennai, can you please give this message to your brother-in-law, Krishna Swami? Can you please give this message? And he gives that message. And you, yes. And again, his attention gone back to children. Children, by the time, children are running here and there. And the wife also is in the shopping, in the railway station. Now what to do? Again, you start calling the wife, calling the children. The train is about to come. At that time, what will you remember? You're again counting the luggage. Will you remember to give the message? Will you give the message that to your bill, your brother-in-law, Krishna Swami? You cannot. When next time when that person, that friend meets you, did you give my message? Message? What message? You will not even remember anything. You can't understand because your mind was so preoccupied with the railway station affair. So to Arjuna's mind is so preoccupied with the war, Krishna's teaching might not have gone. If Arjuna understood, then the further all the chapters, 16 chapters, what for? First chapter Arjuna was blabbering about. Then from second chapter onwards, Krishna's teaching starts. So all the 17 chapters, what use? No use. If Arjuna understood in the second chapter itself, by this 25th verse, Arjuna understood. Krishna need not give 72 verses. Arjuna did not understand. Therefore, Lord is coming down to the level of Arjuna, to an intellectual level. So next verse, you can see how Lord is stepping down from the highest pedestal, from the absolute standpoint to relative standpoint. What is that? Let us see verse 26. So let us see verse 26. Atha chainam nityajatam.
Ata chainam nityajatam.
Nityam va manyase mritam.
Nityam va manyase mritam.
Tathapi tvam mahabaho.
Tathapi tvam mahabaho.
Naivam shochitum arhasi.
Naivam shochitum arhasi.
Athachainam. Athacha enam. This self, this indwelling self. Now, if you think this indwelling self, nityajatam. Atha means on the other hand. On the other hand, if you think this, this indwelling self, this one is born continuously. Continually it born. Atacha enam nityajatam. If you think this self is constantly born, continuously born. And nityam va manyase mritam, or dies constantly. If you think it is constantly born and then constantly dies, even then, O mighty armed one, hey Arjuna, Mahabaho, hey Mahabaho, even then, naivam shochitam arhasi. You should not grieve like this. Na evam, like this. shochitum arhasi. Na shochitum arhasi evam. Evam na shochitum arhasi. You should not grieve like this. So, atachainam nitya jatam nityam va manyase mritam. If you see, when the birth of the body, with the birth of the body, if you think Atman also is born. Atman is born with the birth of the body. When the body is born, Atman also is born. Suppose you are thinking like that. And with the death of the body, Atman also dead. If you think so. If you think when the body is born, Atman is born. When the body dies, Atman also dies. If you think like this, then also why worry? Because again the body will be born. If you think when the body is born, Atman is born. If the body dies, Atman dies. Then also what is the need to worry? Why should you worry? Again the body will be born. Isn't it? Like sunrise. When you see sunrise, oh, happy birthday, sun. Did anybody said? No, but every day sun is rising. Nobody said happy birthday. And when sun sets, sun died. Will you grieve? Ayo, sun died. S-U-N I meant. Sun died. When the sun is born, will you say, when the sun rises, oh, sun is born. When the sun sets, oh, sun is dead. Do you say that? Nobody grieves. When the sun rises, they enjoy the sunrise. And when the sun sets, that also they enjoy. So you are seeing the sunrise. You are seeing the sunset. But if you question, does the sun really rise? If you don't question, no problem. You can ask, even in your phone, you can ask Siri, what time is the sunrise? I generally ask, hey Siri, what time is sunrise today?
Sunrise was at 7:26 a.m. today.
See that you can ask, and Siri will tell you if you want to know. So there is no new coming birth. There is no new going death. Then why grieve? Nothing new. Everything happening every time. Why grieve? Same birth, same growth, same disease, same decay, same death. Different names are given to the diseases. Now, COVID, isn't it? Virus or the pandemic, all different names you can give. Variants, Omicron, Delta, how many names? Different names, but same. What? Birth, growth, disease, decay, death. Same thing. All are going to die. And when intellectual people hear this, oh, all are going to die. Oh, what a philosophical truth. So Krishna is so philosophical. This is at a down level. When absolute level Krishna was talking, nobody there, the person is not able to appreciate. This at coming down level, they start appreciating. Oh, what a philosophical truth. All are going to die. All bubbles are going to burst. What a philosophical truth. It is natural. So Krishna here, for the sake of argument, don't assume that Krishna is propagating this. Krishna here, for the sake of argument, takes up this materialistic supposition and shows that even if the self were impermanent, sorrow should not be there. Because in that case, there is no hereafter, no sin, no hell. Why should you worry? So no grief. Grief is not necessary. Thus Krishna gives, it comes one step down. Then why you should not grieve? Because here it says, Atachainam nitya jatam, nityam va manyase mritam, tatapi tvam mahabaho naivam shochitum arhasi. If you think the self is continuously born and continuously dies, then also you should not worry. Why? He gives in the next verse the answer. So let us see verse 27. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu
Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu.
Dhruvam janma mritasya cha.
Dhruvam janma mritasya cha.
Tasmad apariharyerthe.
Tasmad apariharyerthe.
Natvam shochitum arhasi.
Natvam shochitum arhasi.
This last quarter is very beautiful. Natvam shochitum arhasi. You have to keep it in your mind. Anybody grieving, you can tell. Natvam shochitum arhasi. You should not grieve. Natvam shochitum arhasi. Why? Jatasya. Jatasya, that which is born. Dhruvo mrityu. That which is born must die. Nishchitam. Dhruva. That which is born must die. Anything born must die. Now you may say, Swamiji, I don't want to die. You don't want to die? Then you made a mistake. What mistake? Why did you take birth? If you are born, you must die. If you don't want to die, then don't take birth. Isn't it? If the sun rises, it must set. If the sun sets, it must rise. No choice. But if you look higher, does the sun really rise? You can ask that question also to Siri. She'll guide you to a website. She will not answer. You have to read. Even though I'm seeing the sunrise, even though I'm seeing the sunset, you should know it is because of the earth rotation. Sun never rose, sun never set, but we are seeing it. It is seen, but false. You are seeing the birth of the body, mind, intellect, like you are seeing the sunrise, sunset. But if you really think, analyze, it is the earth rotation that gives the illusion of sunrise and sunset. The birth of the body that gives the illusion of Atman, the self as though born. Isn't it? Sun never rose. Sun can never set. That is the highest standpoint. But you can predict the sunrise. You can predict the sunset. You saw just now Siri predicting. Isn't it? You can predict. Knowing fully well it is false. That is called the glory of knowledge. Isn't it? Seeing it, but you know it. Knowledge is more important. Isn't it? So that which is born must die. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. And that which is dead, birth is certain. If I am born, I must die. And if I die, I will be reborn. No choice. If I am born, I must die. If I die, I will be reborn. Tasmat. Therefore, apariharyerthe. Apariharyerthe. Therefore, in this unavoidable situation, it's unavoidable. Birth is there, death will be there. Unavoidable. If the sun is rising, sun will set. Unavoidable. Therefore, natvam shochitum arhasi. You should not grieve. There's no reason to grieve. So, jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. You should not grieve, because for that which is born, death is certain. And for that which is dead, birth is certain. Therefore, you should not grieve. You should not grieve over that which cannot be changed. That which cannot be changed, what can you do? This is the law of life. You may not like it, but this is the law of life. You cannot satisfy everyone. Like class timings, 7 o'clock to 8:30 is the class. But we meet early. I come at 6:48 and our organizers, they come at 6:20, 6:21 they come. And they start organizing. I enter at 6:48. Timing. So we, Chinmaya mission, is very particular about time. Gurudev gave us that discipline. Never Chinmaya Mission talks will be late. Due to some technological difficulties, you can't help it out. But the live classes on time, and all members know it. Knowing it, they come late. That is the tragedy. Therefore, they have to get there to follow Gurudev's teachings. If they remember Gurudev, they will never be late. If anybody is late, they are not remembering Gurudev. That's all I can tell. So remember Gurudev, you will be on time. You will plan much ahead. Those who maintain time, they'll be great planners. They can plan well because they are thinking a lot how to adjust to that. So if you're early, if you are at 6:48, you are on time. Yes, I am 6:48 for 7 o'clock class. My class is at 7, but I come at 6:48. Why? To be early is on time. Suppose I come on time 7, then I am late. If you are before time, if you are early, you are on time. If you are on time, you are late. And suppose I come at 7:05, late. If I come late, I am dead. Dead means late Swami Dheerananda. Late Swami Dheerananda means no more. So never be late. So like the class timings, you cannot satisfy everyone. So somebody says, Swamiji, 7:30 will be nice. Another person says, Swamiji, 8:30 will be better. After dinner and all, I can sit down and then it will be a good, lullaby for me. I can sleep well. I mean, because since I don't show my picture also, video, I can lie down on the bed and you talk and I sleep. Imagine. This student calls the teacher at night, 11 o'clock in the night, and tells the teacher, you today I did not come for the class, for your class, math class, I did not come. Can you tell me what you taught in the class? The teacher is so thrilled. What a lucky teacher I am. You are calling me at 11 o'clock in the night to teach you what I taught today morning at 11 o'clock. Such a great student you are. And the student says, no, teacher, I am not able to sleep. That whenever in math class, whenever you teach, I sleep. Therefore, I called you so that you teach, I can fall asleep. Imagine the teacher's condition. So therefore, you cannot satisfy everyone. You fix a time and maintain it. Lunchtime. What time is lunchtime? Between 12:30 and 1:30 is lunchtime. If you come at 12:30 to 1:30 in that time range, then you get lunch. But if you start telling me, Swamiji, how can I tell when I am hungry? How can I tell? And I will only tell, if you come at 2 p.m., then you can clean the dining room and the kitchen. You can clean and we'll give you extra dinner. That's all I can tell. The time maintenance is very, very important. Now, coming back to our topic, because I'm I got a chance to hint about the time management, how to manage the time. Now, so accepting this birth, if you say you do not believe in reincarnation, you need not believe it. You may say that I don't believe in rebirth, but you are accepting this birth. What can I say? In India, one taxi driver, I was in Mumbai. From the ashram, I had to go to the airport. So a taxi came and I sat at the back of the taxi and I was going. He took me out of the ashram. As he's driving, he asked me, the driver, Swamiji, aap ye atom bomb, do you believe in this atom bomb? What can I tell him? I said, yes, there is atom bomb. You don't know. I told the driver, Saab, there is atom bomb. He got disturbed. He started arguing angrily. Swamiji, I thought Chinmaya Swamis are intelligent. You also believe in this atom bomb? He started arguing. He's not only arguing angrily, but also looking back and arguing. Now, when he's looking back and arguing, what can I do? That in the Mumbai traffic, more people are on the road. I told the driver, Saab, you are right. Now only by your telling me, now I don't think I can ever believe in atom bomb. See, Dekha, Swamiji, Abhi, now you're an intelligent Swami. And he started trying. What else can I do? Isn't it? That fellow will not believe in atom bomb even if it falls on his head. Because he will not be there to believe. So if you say accepting this birth, if you say there is no rebirth, there was no past birth, don't accept this birth. If you don't accept this birth, then no past birth, no rebirth. If you don't accept today, no yesterday, no tomorrow. There's only now, now, now. Tasmat apariharyarthe natvam shochitum arhasi. Therefore, you should not grieve over that which cannot be changed. Don't grieve over the unavoidable. But people complain. Swamiji, summer is very hot. In summer, they complain summer is very hot. In winter, winter is very cold, very cold, very cold. And rainy season, so much rain, so much rain. Constantly complaining and whining. One wife told me, Swamiji, my husband is very hot-tempered. And I told her, you encourage him. He may start feeling that he can be hot-tempered anywhere. Everywhere he can be hot-tempered. And at the right place, by the right person, he'll get the right dosage. Hot treatment he will get. Thereafter, he will realize there is no point in becoming hot-tempered. He will realize. So therefore, never whine, never complain. Remember that serenity prayer. The serenity prayer, I like it very much. Oh Lord, God, oh God, grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change. Oh God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can. And the courage to change the things I can. The bottom line is very important. The wisdom to know the difference. Means wisdom to know when to accept with serenity and when to change with courage. That's the punchline. The wisdom to know the difference. So long as there is desire, there will be birth and death. So birth and death are inevitable as long as I have desire to come into this realm of change. I am the changeless truth. I am the reality. But if I have desires, I have to come into the plurality to fulfill the desires. No choice. And further, next verse. Verse 28. Avyaktadini bhutani.
Avyaktadini bhutani.
Vyaktamadhyani bharata.
Vyaktamadhyani bharata.
Avyaktanidhananyeva.
Avyaktanidhananyeva.
Tatra ka paridevana.
Tatra ka paridevana.
So avyaktadini bhutani, these beings, what you're saying, avyaktadini, all beings are unmanifest in the beginning. In the beginning, all the beings are unmanifest. Vyaktamadhyani bharata, they become manifest in the middle. In the beginning, all the beings are unmanifest. In the middle, they become manifest. And then avyakta nidhananyeva, and again unmanifest again in the end. And unmanifest again in their end. In the beginning, they're unmanifest. In the middle, they manifest. And again, they go back to unmanifest. Tatra ka paridevana, what is there to grieve about? Isn't it? Nothing to grieve. So, hey Arjuna, you are grieving unnecessarily. So, this verse we'll see tomorrow more. In my time.
गोरखनाथ महाराज की
Please do namaskaram to the Arati.